Hey guys, and welcome to another quick video. It's more of a rant really. I just kind of wanted to get some information out there for you guys about, well basically TFL do not run a free service, yeah? Every day I get people come on the bus and just say like, oh I've lost my Oyster card, or my dog ate my Oyster card, and you know, excuses like that. And it's very, very annoying, because obviously I don't want to be a Debbie Downer and just tell them you can't get on the bus, but unfortunately that's my job, you know, because it is a very small minority of people, but a lot of people think that it's okay to just walk on the bus and just blatantly don't want to pay. It's very, very frustrating because, well, you're defrauding TFL rightfully of their money that they owe. So, you know, do you think it's okay? You know, if it was your company, you know, would you want people, you know, not paying for your services? No, you wouldn't. You'd want people to pay. So sorry if I'm rambling here, guys. I'm kind of doing this off the cuff. I don't have any notes written down or anything for this, but I just kind of wanted to just have a little rant to you about stuff like this, because it really frustrates me, because I hear the same excuses every day. I've lost my Oyster card but I've ordered a new one. Well, you still can't travel. You know, and it's like, you know the rules. You pay £1.50, you know, and it's not like you need an Oyster card. You know, contactless payments are accepted now on buses, you know, so if you don't have an Oyster card, everyone's got a bank card. You can't tell me you don't have a bank card, you know. So it's things like that that really frustrate us bus drivers, because we're constantly having arguments with people, you know, because they don't want to pay the £1.50. You know, and to me it's ridiculous, because if you go up north, you know, to like Manchester or Yorkshire, and you see the prices, you know, just to go a couple of stops, it's extortionate. It's probably like £2 to go like 2 or 3 stops. So if you wanted to go like 20 stops, it's a lot more expensive than £1.50. And as well, you've got the hopper fare in London, you know, pay £1.50 and you can go on as many buses as you like within, I think it's about a 2-hour period. So you're only paying for one bus. Like, TFL could have been really nasty about it and just decided to pay, make you pay for every single bus, you know. So you've got a really good deal in London, but people do not want to pay, and I think it's ridiculous, because I get, especially like young people, because this is the thing about young people. What they don't understand, they think because they are 16, or you know, like they're under 18 basically, that entitles them to free travel. You cannot just walk on a bus and say you're 16 and expect me to let you go through. The reason why is because, yeah, you may be 16, but the pass that you get from TFL entitles you to that free travel. Yeah, you're still considered a child, but the pass is what grants you that free travel. It's not just your age. You have to have a bus pass that tells the driver that you are entitled to that free travel. So it's things like that that annoy me, because I get, like, you get kids come on, especially, you know, there's like I think I had a lad who was like 16 or 17-year-old not too long ago, and he just, you know, just went, I don't have an Oyster card. And to me, I got very frustrated, because he was wearing a full Nike tracksuit, and if you know Nike, which I'm sure a lot of you do, Nike isn't a cheap brand. It's very expensive, you know, probably for the whole tracksuit you're probably looking at least 50 quid for it. It's a lot, it's probably more 70. So it's like, you can afford that, but you can't afford, you know, to pay £1.50 for a bus fare. And, you know, let's be honest, I've seen kids much younger than him have a bank card. I've seen about, I think it was a 13 or 14-year-old who has a bank card. So to me, it's just ridiculous that you think you can't pay. But unfortunately, that's people. They think they're above the law, you know, and they get to pay nothing for, you know, for free travel. They think they are entitled to free travel, you know. And I saw a video from Decker Michael not too long ago. He's another bus YouTuber, and he had a good analogy about it. You wouldn't go into a shop and walk out the shop with a basket full of shopping and not pay for it, because the staff would stop you, and if they've got a security guard, the security guard would stop you. So What gives you the right to do that on a bus or a tube or a train? You know, you don't have the right to, you know, defraud someone rightfully their money, because, you know, customers always complain the buses are late. Well, that's because a lot of people don't pay the fare, which means TFL can't put the money back into the service to make it better. And people don't realise, you know, that it puts the bus driver under a lot of pressure, because if they let them on, those people on for free, what happens if a ticket inspector comes on? We're going to get reported, they're going to get a fine, so we'll get called in for being reported, and we could potentially lose our jobs, you know, and that's how serious it is. It's not a laughing matter. Admittedly, the rules have changed a lot when it comes to for fare evaders. Nowadays, obviously, we just, you know, if they walk on and they don't, you know, say anything, they don't pay, we just leave them and obviously report it to TFL on our MDT or iBus systems, which obviously controls all the announcements and stuff. We send a text message to them saying I've got a fare evader on board, and what they do is they collect the data from the from all the locations that they've received these text messages, and they decide whether it's an area that's hot enough to warrant police presence, and obviously TFL enforcement officers. And which is obviously good, because obviously we are trained to avoid confrontation as much as possible, so it's a case of protecting the driver more than anything, because, you know, obviously we don't want confrontation, we don't want to be arguing, because it puts us in a bad mood. But it's that small minority, I'll probably say it's gone up probably from about 4 or 5% of people, it's now probably up to 7 or 8 or even 10% of people don't want to pay. And it's ridiculous, because again, you won't go into a shop and, you know, expect to walk in and not pay anything and just take a buttload of shopping home with you, because it's against the law. And it's the same with buses. It is the law, you know, you have to pay, you know, because again, you don't really get away with it as much on the tube, because obviously you've got station staff, you know, standing by the ticket barriers watching people, you know, to see if they try and jump the queue or, you know, jump the barriers, you know, so it wouldn't happen as much there. But on the bus, people think they can just walk all over the driver, and I'm sorry, you can't. At the end of the day, you know, I have the choice whether I go, no, do you know what, I'm not going to move until you get off, and I can call the police. It's perfectly a valid reason, but it's more to do with, you know, whether it's more to do with the time of day, and it's more to do with if it's upsetting other customers. If other customers start getting restless about it, and they start, you know, getting angry with the driver because they let him on for free when they've paid, then I'll take action. But you've got to remember, yeah, bus drivers, like, you may see bus drivers as being very grumpy and everything, but that's because, you know, a lot of people don't really understand, like, you know, we do have a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress that goes on in this job. It's not just the driving part, it's the passengers, you know, moaning at you, saying, driver, why aren't we moving? There's a lot goes in our heads, and we don't want to have that added pressure of having to be, you know, a ticket inspector. You know, we just want people to get on, pay their fare and go, you know. But obviously we do have a heart. Obviously I personally take into consideration the time of day, their age, whether they're, you know, young or elderly, you know, and I take into account how busy the bus is. If it's, you know, like 11, 12 o'clock at night and someone's come on and say, look, I'm sorry mate, I don't have an oyster at the moment, like I've lost it, I'd let them on, purely because of the time of day. You know, there's nobody about, I'm not really going to be picking up any passengers, ticket inspector's not going to be about at that time, so, you know, I'll let them pass that one time. You know, I never want to leave children at the side of the road. Like, if they're like 17, they should really be able to, you know, they should really have a bank card, because again, I've seen like 13, 14 year olds with bank cards, so it's one of them things where they are old enough to have one, so they should have other means of payments, like being able to pay. But if it's like a 13-year-old in school uniform, I'm not going to let him sit at the side of the road, because that's just cruel. Same with elderly. You know, if an elderly person's forgot their freedom pass, I'm not going to, you know, tell them to get off, because they're elderly. You know, you got to show some respect in that regard. You know, like the saying is, respect your elders. But the majority of the time, when it's, you know, like mid-adult, you know, like 20, 30 onwards, up till probably about 40, 45, you should be paying. You know, there's no excuse. You know, because again, if you can afford all these nice things, you know, like all these, you know, expensive brand tracksuits and, you know, polos, Ralph Lauren, you know, Versace, all this, if you can afford all those things, you can afford to pay £1.50. I'm sorry to be blunt about it, but that's honestly how I feel. You know, it's not fair on everyone who pays for you to just walk on and not bother to pay. Because what a lot of customers do as well is they tend to you know, come up to the driver's area here, and they'll just literally just like not even tap it. They'll just have it like that, and they won't even tap it. And then, you know, they'll just say the reader's broken, or they'll have a ticket and they'll just show it like that, but really low, so the driver can't see it. And to me, that's rude. You know, because I will not, like, you know, like, people think I'm really old and I'm stupid. I can see what you're doing. You know, I've grown up on the buses, so I know exactly what you're doing. You know, and it's not funny at all. You know, because I've had people get on the back doors once, not too long ago. You know, I had to wait at a bus stop for a couple of minutes because I was running a little bit close to the bus in front, and he just got on the back, and I literally straight away got on the PA announcement. You know, sorry sir, this bus isn't moving until you come up to the cab and pay, because don't think I didn't see you. And he didn't. So I sat there because, you know, I've given him the opportunity. He doesn't want to pay, so I'm not going anywhere. Because especially with that incident, that's a complete lack of, you know, respect for the driver. The fact you just want to get on the bus from the back doors, you know, and it's stuff like that annoys me. And again, he wasn't exactly, you know, looking. He didn't look rough at all. You know, he looked like he could get away, like get his way through the world. You know, he had nice things, so it's like, why can't you pay? But anyway, guys, I won't keep you any longer. I just wanted to kind of get that off my chest a little bit, because it's. I mean, I'm a new driver. I've only been doing this full time, like proper, like, you know, full time driving for about 2 months now. So it's obviously still a new experience. I know, like, all veteran drivers are like, yeah, I've had this for, you know, like 25 years. But it's still frustrating, you know. But it's like, you really do see the ugly side of the public. Which is, you know, like I said, but 90% of the customers are really nice. You know, they pay and they get on and they sit down and they let me do my job. But it's that minority of people who think it's okay to mess about and, you know, put the driver under more stress than what he's already under. Because trust me, it gets stressful. You know, I can be very good at hiding it sometimes, but there are times where, you know, it gets to me, you know. But anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off now, but I just wanted to kind of get that out there. You know, it's just TFL is not free. Please show some respect and pay your £1.50, because it's not funny and it's not fair on everyone who does pay. You know, you're not entitled. You know, you're not above the £1.50 rule. You're not, essentially, you're not above the law. You know, you and everyone else is, you know, you're on the same level. You know, and you have to pay your fare. All right, but that's me signing out, guys. I hope you have a great day. I'm currently at Thamesmead, if you wanted to know. Still on the 177s. It's a lovely route, as you know. But anyway, yeah, I'm signing off now, guys. So have a good day. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and make sure you click that thumbs up button if you want to see more content. And I'll see you next time.